Today's memory verse comes from Psalm 96, verse 2-3, and it says, "Sing to the Lord, praise His name, proclaim His salvation day after day, declare His glory among the nations, His marvelous deeds among all peoples."
To learn about life in the Bible times, archaeologists do a great deal of research. They study maps and records from archaeologists and others who have worked in the area before. They find and examine artifacts and study the writings of ancient historians and Bible stories. Today we are going to learn about a story in the Bible that not only gives us clues about the walls around the city of Jericho, but also helps us learn about God's power.
God had done many amazing miracles to help the Israelites. He freed the Israelites from slavery in Egypt, gave the people food and water in the desert for 40 years, defeated the armies that attacked the people, and brought the Israelites to the edge of Canaan.
But God didn't do all of this just to help the Israelites. God wanted the people in the surrounding nations to know of His power so they could trust Him too. God wanted to show that He was far greater than the false gods the people in Canaan worshipped.
Now the Israelites were headed to the city of Jericho. Jericho was a beautiful city with springs of water and many palm trees. Many people traveled to Jericho to buy and sell goods. Strong double walls surrounded Jericho, so thick and strong that houses were built right into the walls. Even though the people of Jericho had heard about the God of the Israelites, the people trusted in the strong walls around their city and in their false gods.
Jericho was the first big city near the border of Canaan. Because the people disobeyed God and because of their evil actions, God had told Joshua to take over the city. So Joshua secretly sent 2 spies to find out about the people and the city. The 2 spies crossed the Jordan River, making sure no one saw them. Then they tried to blend into the crowd as they entered Jericho. Soon the spies found their way to a house on the wall. This house belonged to a woman named Rahab. Rahab could tell that these men were not from Jericho and probably realized they were Israelites, but still let them in. Rahab also knew that if she was caught, the king of Jericho would kill her for helping the Israelites. It didn't take long for the king to find out about the spies and know where they were. Someone must have followed them and saw them going into Rahab's house.
Let's open up our Bibles to read Joshua 2 verse 3 to find the message the king of Jericho sent to Rahab. It says, "So the king of Jericho sent orders to Rahab, 'Bring out the men who have come into your house, for they have come here to spy out the whole land.'" Because Rahab was sure the king would come looking for them, she had hidden the spies on the flat roof of her house under some stalks of flax she was drying. She didn't want the soldiers to search the house. It would be trouble for all of them if a soldier went up on the roof and stepped on one of the spies. Rahab thought quickly. Now let's have a look at Joshua 2 verse 4-5 to find out where she said the men went. Rahab had hidden the 2 men, but she replied, "Yes, the men were here earlier, but I didn't know where they were from. They left the town at dusk as the gates were about to close. I don't know where they went. If you hurry, you can probably catch up with them."
The soldiers hurried out of the gate and along the road to the Jordan River in pursuit of the spies. As soon as the soldiers went out, the heavy gates to the city shut.
Now turn your Bibles to Joshua 2 verse 8-9 so we can see why Rahab chose to help the spies. It says, "Before the spies went to sleep that night, Rahab went up onto the roof to talk to them. 'I know the Lord has given you this land,' she told them. 'We are all afraid of you. Everyone in the land is living in terror.'"
Rahab told the spies what the people of Jericho had heard about the Israelites, how God divided the Red Sea so that they could cross, and how He helped them defeat the powerful kings on the other side of the Jordan River. Rahab not only believed in God, but she chose to follow Him by helping the spies. She pleaded with the spies and said,
"Please, since I've shown you this kindness, I ask that you show my family kindness. Spare our lives, the lives of my father and my mother, my brothers and my sisters, when you come back to take the city. If you promise not to tell anyone of our mission here, we promise to treat you kindly when we return," the spies answered. Rahab agreed. She tossed one end of a long rope out the window and tied it. "Go hide in the hills for 3 days," she told them. "By then the king's men will have returned and you will be safe." "When we come back," the men said, "tie a red cord in your window and bring all your family into this house. Only those found in this house will be saved."
The spies hid in the mountains for 3 days and then hurried back to Joshua so that they could give him their report.
We are now going to read Joshua 2 verse 24 to find out what they told Joshua. "The Lord has given us the whole land," they said, "for all the people in the land are terrified of us." All the people of Jericho had heard about God's amazing power. They knew what he had done for the Israelites, but it was Rahab who took the step of faith. She chose to believe and trust the God she had heard about, and we'll see later how her faith would make a difference for her whole family. Every day, God's power helps us, even when we don't realize it. We can learn about God's power through the Bible stories we hear. Once we know about God's great power, we can choose to believe in him and put our trust in him about any situations we may face. Trusting in God means we obey his word, depending on him to help us do what is right and good.
I hope you all have an amazing week ahead, and I'll see you soon. Bye.